Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly lose weight and boost their health without counting a single calorie? What if I told you there's a method that millions are using right now that could completely transform your relationship with food and potentially add years to your life? Today, we're diving deep into the world of intermittent fasting, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this ancient practice has become the modern world's hottest health trend. Let me start with something that might blow your mind. Right now, as you're watching this, your body is in one of two states. It's either burning the food you just ate for energy, or it's burning your stored fat. The fascinating part is that most of us spend almost our entire lives in that first state, constantly feeding our bodies and never giving them a chance to tap into those fat stores. But what if we could flip that switch deliberately? That's exactly what intermittent fasting does. Now, before you think this is just another diet fad, let me be clear. Intermittent fasting isn't about what you eat, it's about when you eat. It's an eating pattern that cycles between periods of eating and periods of fasting, and the science behind it is absolutely mind-blowing. Think about it. For most of human history, our ancestors didn't have access to food 24/7. They went through natural periods of abundance and scarcity. Our bodies evolved to thrive in these cycles. Modern life, with its constant access to food, might actually be working against our natural biology. So how does this actually work in your body? When you eat, your body breaks down carbs into glucose, which becomes your primary fuel. But when you stop eating for an extended period, your body eventually runs out of this easy fuel. That's when something called metabolic switching occurs. Your body starts breaking down stored fat to use as fuel instead. This isn't just about weight loss, although that's certainly a benefit. This process triggers a cascade of cellular changes that researchers think might be the key to longevity and disease prevention. When your cells don't have constant access to food, they go into what scientists call a mild stress state. Now that might sound bad, but this is actually good stress. Think of it like exercise for your cells. Just as physical exercise stresses your muscles and makes them stronger, this cellular stress from fasting appears to make your cells more resilient and better at fighting off disease. During these fasting periods, your cells start producing more antioxidants, they reduce inflammation, and they begin cleaning out damaged parts through a process called autophagy. It's like your body is doing its own internal spring cleaning, getting rid of cellular junk that might otherwise contribute to aging and disease. The research on intermittent fasting is exploding right now, and the results are pretty incredible. Studies have shown that people who practice it often lose weight, but that's just the beginning. We're seeing improvements in blood pressure, cholesterol levels, blood sugar control, and markers of inflammation. Some research even suggests benefits for brain health, potentially protecting against neurodegenerative diseases. A comprehensive review of 40 different studies found that people typically lose 7 to 11 pounds over 10 weeks. But here's what's really interesting. When compared to traditional calorie restriction diets, the weight loss was about the same. So if it's not necessarily better for weight loss, why is everyone talking about it? The answer lies in sustainability and the additional health benefits. Many people find intermittent fasting easier to stick with than traditional diets because you're not constantly thinking about what you can and can't eat. You're simply adjusting when you eat. Plus, those cellular benefits I mentioned earlier don't necessarily happen with regular calorie restriction. There are several different approaches, and finding the right one for you is crucial. The most popular method is the 16.8 approach. You eat during an 8-hour window and fast for the remaining 16 hours. For example, you might eat between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m., which often just means skipping breakfast or having a late one and an early dinner. Another popular approach is the 5.2 method. With this pattern, you eat normally for 5 days of the week and significantly reduce your calories to about 500 or 600 on 2 non-consecutive days. This gives you more flexibility. Then there's alternate day fasting, where you alternate between normal eating days and fasting days. This approach can be more challenging, but may provide more pronounced benefits for some. The beauty of intermittent fasting is its adaptability. You can choose what works best for your lifestyle. If you love breakfast, you might eat from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you're a night owl, maybe noon to 8 p.m. works better. During your eating windows, the quality of your food still matters enormously. This isn't a free pass to eat whatever you want. To get the maximum benefits, focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods, lean proteins, healthy fats, plenty of vegetables, fruits, and whole grains. Now, what about your fasting hours? You can, and should, drink water to stay hydrated. Black coffee and plain tea are also generally acceptable because they have virtually no calories. The first few days can be challenging. You might experience hunger pangs, irritability, or difficulty concentrating. This is normal and usually subsides within a week or two as your body adjusts. Starting gradually can help. It's important to address some potential concerns. Some people experience headaches or fatigue when they first start. These symptoms usually improve, but they're worth monitoring. If you have any medical conditions, especially diabetes, heart disease, or a history of eating disorders, it's absolutely essential to talk with your healthcare provider before starting any fasting regimen. In fact, if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, or if you have a history of eating disorders, intermittent fasting is not for you. Children and teenagers who are still growing also need consistent nutrition. For people with diabetes, the situation is complex and definitely requires medical supervision. One of the most intriguing aspects of current research is the potential impact on longevity. Animal studies have shown that periodic fasting can extend lifespan. While we can't directly apply this to humans, the cellular cleanup process I mentioned, autophagy, becomes more active during fasting. This helps remove damaged proteins from cells, potentially slowing the aging process. However, it's crucial to understand that research is still ongoing. Most human studies have been conducted over months, not years or decades, so we're still learning about the long-term effects. Let's address some common myths. One worry is that fasting will slow your metabolism. Research suggests this isn't the case with intermittent fasting. Another concern is muscle loss. Combining intermittent fasting with adequate protein and resistance exercise appears to help preserve muscle mass. For women, there are some additional considerations. Some research suggests women might be more sensitive to fasting, potentially experiencing changes in hormone levels. Starting with less restrictive methods and monitoring how your body responds is particularly important. Exercise and intermittent fasting can work well together, but timing matters. Some people feel energized exercising in a fasted state, while others prefer to work out during their eating windows. One aspect that many people find liberating is its simplicity. Unlike diets that require weighing food or counting points, intermittent fasting is straightforward. You're either eating or you're not. This can reduce the mental burden of traditional dieting. As we wrap up, let's talk about getting started. Start gradually. Consider beginning with a 12-hour fast, which might just mean finishing dinner by 7 p.m. and not eating again until 7 a.m. As this becomes comfortable, you can gradually extend the window. Keep a journal to track how you're feeling. This will be valuable if you need to adjust your approach. And remember, intermittent fasting isn't magic. It's a tool that works best when combined with good nutrition, regular exercise, adequate sleep, and stress management. It's not a cure-all, and it's not right for everyone. The most important takeaway is that intermittent fasting represents a shift in how we think about eating, focusing not just on what we eat, but when we eat. If you found this information valuable, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming videos. In the comments below, let me know if you've tried intermittent fasting or if you're considering it. Until then, remember that the best eating plan is one you can stick with for the long term. Thanks for watching.